A bill rejected by North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper has a chance of becoming law by the end of this week. This afternoon, state senators voted to override Cooper's veto of SB 382, a measure entitled Hurricane Relief that Cooper describes as a sham. Protests erupted within the Senate chambers before lawmakers could cast their votes. Chief political correspondent Andy Weber reports on what could come next.
Despite the spicy language the governor tried to throw in his little veto message that's coming in, this is a good policy for the state of North Carolina.
Senate Republicans in Raleigh stood by SB 382 Monday afternoon, moving forward with an override vote of a veto issued by North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper. The General Assembly passed SB 382 earlier this month, promising new relief for Hurricane Helene victims. But the bill would also make changes to powers held by statewide officials, including the governor and attorney general. In a subsequent veto, Cooper called the bill a sham, saying it does little to provide actual relief. Monday's override vote was delayed a bit after protests began from the chamber's public gallery.
Mr. President.
Sir, the House.
Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson, who serves as president of the Senate, quickly moved to empty the gallery, and all spectators were forced to watch from outside the chamber.
Clear the gallery. Just clear the gallery. Everybody's got to go.
Mecklenburg County Democrat Natasha Marcus opposed the move.
You can't clear the whole gallery. A lot of the people here are being respectful and here to see what's happening. This is the people's house.
But Robinson argued his actions were more than necessary, as protesters could be heard shouting, this time from outside the Senate.
There is a time for protest, but it's not in the halls of this chamber. It's not inside this chamber.
After a 10-minute recess, the vote was held, and senators voted the same way they did when the legislation was initially passed, 30-19.
Andy Weber joining us now. This bill now heads to the House for an override vote there. Are we expecting a similar result?
Well, Brian, right now it's unclear. That's because in the initial vote for SB 382, they were 3 votes short of the amount needed to override a veto. So we'll have more on that. We also asked one of the lawmakers who voted no, one of the Republicans who voted no in that measure. He was unsure of how he'll vote on a veto.
So we got to have to wait and see, and that's going to come later this week. It's going to happen on Thursday, correct?
That's the expectation. It's not on the agenda yet, but that's the expectation.
All right, we'll see what happens. Andy Weber, thanks for joining us here in the studio.